Welcome back, Omies. You are live with 9 to 5 on OHM Radio 96.3 Charleston. I'm your host, Seth Abramson, and I'm co-hosted by the lovely Taylor Zerwinski. What's up, Taylor?
Hey, guys. Glad to be back.
But now let's turn our attention to Langston Hughes
Hughes.
III. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, world?
What's going on?
All right, so let's just do a quick sound off. So we have Charlie Dark, the superstar. Can you say what's up so they can know your voice?
What's going on, world? Charlie Dark, the superstar, the mayor of the Chuck.
That's
These are facts.
And then we got Chalk, the bully.
What's happening, yo? This your boy Chuck, man, repping for Chucktown, James Island, all abroad. What's happening?
And then we got Maximilian.
My name is Max. They call me Max.
It's very soft-spoken.
Sweet. So we just listened to Dream Expedited. Why did you guys want me to play that song first?
Well, it's the genesis of our new journey. Our name is Langston Hughes III, which was taken from the poet Langston Hughes. He had a poem entitled Dream Deferred. And when we decided to get back to music and we decided to take that moniker, it just fit. So we was like, well, we had a dream deferred, and now we're expediting the dream. So we just thought it would be the perfect way to start it. And that song pretty much tells our path and our journey for where we're going now.
So what's the dream?
We're hip-hop artists. We had a record deal in the 90s. We're a little older than you guys.
Just a little bit.
I
Just
can't
a
tell,
little.
though. You guys have just this young soul in
It's
you.
the melanin thing. That's what it is.
It's the melanin thing.
And coffee, a lot of
And
coffee.
a lot of coffee.
A lot of coffee.
But we
I
had
love
a
how you
record
say
deal.
coffee.
We had a record deal, and it was very short-lived. We actually had the opportunity to go out to California, record with Solar Records. We actually did an album in the same studio that Dr. Dre recorded The Chronic, like a year right after that. So we were in the midst of a good energy. We headed out to Cali, did that, and long story short, the dream was deferred. It got fizzled, so we ended up back here after a year or two, and life just kind of set in. We had to get jobs. Eventually, we're getting a job for 6 months, and it turns into now we're worried about 401k and things like that. So we kind of got away from the dream. And Maximilian, maybe, it might have been 8, maybe 9 years ago, he came to me, and he'd been off the scene a lot longer than we had. And we decided, I want to do this again. And it was kind of weird because we're older. And we thought we were old at that time. So you're talking about 10 years ago. And so we sat on that for a minute, and we finally decided about 5 years ago to go forth with it. And that brings us here now. So we're back to the music, which is weird with hip-hop. The genre and the culture is youth oriented and youth based. So for, we got kids now. Hell, I got grandkids. So that puts us in a different space. So we had to figure out where do we fit, how do we make it make sense. And although we're older, we're not old, and we still embody that youthful energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that we'll put anybody under the table with anything. It's
Well,
like
your generation
facts.
inspires the newer generations. However, the hip-hop that we see nowadays is a little bit different than this classic Langston Hughes III vibe that we hear. However, I feel like even though you are, quote-unquote, older now, you
The
still
cool
have,
grandpas.
you're like the cool guys that all these young people look up to and aspire to be, and it's cool that you guys are still on the scene with them.
I've been telling my kids that since before they could talk. I'm like, I'm going to be the coolest person that you ever meet, and it's still to the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their friends think I'm really cool.
So your kids look up to you?
Yeah. My son raps now, and he kind of kept it. He was always in the studio with me when he was young, and he was doing this thing, and then finally he let me hear something, and I was impressed. And what impressed me most is he took his own route. Like, so, he's doing hip hop, and, pretty much nowadays the thing is it's like a Photoshop carbon copy type of world, but he decided to go left, and I was like proud of that because that's what we did, and he just followed in his pop's footstep and creating his own lane.
And to add to that, we love today's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was the same way. Like, when we discovered this culture of hip hop, man, we was kids too. And a lot of the music we was doing then, our parents didn't understand. It was really new back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the mid 80s, 90s, it was really new. So, we appreciate and respect. Our energy just remains the same, and we're still fresh and new with what we do. So, there's been many a times, man, we just wanted to say, man, let's just go ahead and just stop doing this, man, and, pursue something else. And we got friends and family and people out here that won't let us do it. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, y'all are too dope to just let this go.
That's it. That's what you guys need, what everybody needs to keep going.
Yeah. So, this is something that we've always inspired to do, and we've always had this goal, and that's what the whole meaning of Dream Expedited, that's what it's all about.
I want to go back to Langston Hughes, the poet. Why is he important to you? Who is he?
Well, Langston Hughes was the forerunner of the Harlem Renaissance, which that like kind of changed the landscape of art, poetry, and jazz music in particular. And when we were looking, our name used to be The Flavor, and then we changed it to the Lower State Champs. And when we started back doing the music, I think we were a little too old to be the Lower State Champs. It's kind of collegiate or maybe even like varsity sports. It was like, it just didn't fit. So initially I was like, well, we're older. We want to take a sophisticated approach. So initially we was looking at Thurston Howell III, and that may go that was from Gilligan's Island. That might be a little before your times. So Thurston Howell III was the rich guy on the island. Well, he wasn't rich. Really, his wife was the one with the money, but he played the part. So it was like, I think that'll be cool. And then it came to my attention that there's already a Thurston Howell III that raps. So we're just searching, and I was actually looking at a Langston Hughes poem, and it just kind of stuck. And we decided to put the third on it to not infringe on his legacy. And also, the third, you think of pompous, like uptight people. So it's like, well, not uptight, but we wanted to take sophisticated. So it's like we put the third on it. So it took us another space. So
it rolls off the tongue well too.
Yeah, it does. And as we looked into it deeper, because we just didn't want to make it a surface thing, it was like Langston Hughes kind of aligned with our values and our goals. Was he was of course, he started the Harlem Renaissance. We're starting our own Renaissance of our own, what we're doing. And what he did that was interesting, he took his poetry and he paired it with jazz. So no one was doing anything like that. So that's kind of a forerunner for hip-hop. It's like, so he's putting this up against the jazz music. So that was one thing we had in common. He had impeccable suit game. He loved to dress. We loved to dress. So a lot of things just kind of aligned with who we were wanting to become as we moved into the music thing. So it just made sense. And on top of it all, when you look at his poem "Dream Deferred," that definitely showed who we were. And for us to just take that and to move forward with it. So we thought, what else would we call ourselves? It just makes sense. It's a perfect fit.
Does he drink as much red wine as you guys?
I don't know. I don't think anyone does.
Yeah.
And that's
I
something
love that
else
about you.
we're working on.
We drink a lot of wine.
We're working on having our own varietal soon. So that's one of the things. 'Cause we know the music thing only could have like maybe a certain shelf life. So we're expanding the brand and the merch, which is doing very well for us. And we do an event called Merlot Moments, henceforth the love of wine, and it's like a celebration of art, wine, and classic hip-hop. So we give local artists and artists from abroad an opportunity to share their art with people that may never get an opportunity to see their art. And of course that we add our hip-hop spin to it, and then wine. So that eventually we're going to have our own wine, and we've been looking into different wineries to find a home for that situation. So like Langston Hughes, again, that's a renaissance in itself, so it just made it all make sense.
That would be sweet. So I want to go back to you guys recording in L.A. The year after the Chronic came out. Was that the same year as the L.A. riots were going on, or I feel like the Chronic came out the same, like maybe the same year that happened, or what was the vibe in L.A. during that time?
No, I think it was the riots were 2 years before we got there, or kind of maybe a year and a half, because when we got there and we saw it still looked like it was yesterday. We was like, wow, it's like, it looks crazy. 'Cause, watching it on TV, and they were in the midst where you could see the buildings and everything that went on. So at that time, it had already kind of calmed down, but we could see the remnants of what had happened. So.
Yeah. Could you still feel the tension in the city from the Rodney King incident?
Nah.
No.
We smoking a lot of marijuana and in and out the studio. We just the Cali sunshine, and it was a culture shock being from South Carolina, but that we didn't feel that tension. I think at that point it died down.
Well, that's good. I mean, and then were you drawing inspiration from any like West Coast acts at the time?
Somebody just asked me that, and I was like, no. Because we always was on our own thing. So, and when we got out there, what we were listening to was East Coast based, and then we just locked in. So
NWA. We rocked with NWA. We rocked with NWA back then too, But
I was gonna say you guys are all dressed in all black. You got the Eazy-E thing.
I'm heavy set. I'm trying to hide my.
But our motivation, like we was, we from a culture of like 70s classic and 80s classic soul and rock. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we always appreciated hip hop, but more from the East Coast. But we being from down south, man, we always took that energy and brought it forth from where we're from and how we get down, and that's always something that made us unique.
Ta-da, he does speak. I think during the time that we were in LA, we were really trying not to listen to a whole lot of stuff,
right,
because it was the creative process that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think two big things came out that year, and I think J. Rue the Damager, and I think Tribe's new album came out. So
yeah, the intro to that last song sounded like a Tribe Called Quest song. I wrote that down.
We get that a lot.
Yeah, actually, it was of the second album, Low End Theory, Excursions. So that's where I kind of took the idea. Tribe Called Quest is my favorite group, and like their album came out while we were recording, and we were listening to Wu-Tang Clan. We was listening to Black Moon. Like he said, J. Rue the Damager put out a single that we're in the middle of recording, and then we hear this thing. It just sounded like this ancient Chinese. It sounded crazy. So we were like, wow. It kind of inspired us because we're recording, and then now we hear, like, we're in our own little bubble in the world, and we hear something from the outside. It's like, wow, the landscape is changing, so we got to keep up. And our thing always was to be different. So we always were like, we want to go against the grain. So we're Southern rappers, and we wanted to be different with that, and just our approach to the game. And we always was kind of compared to the Tribe and the Native Tongue movement, because we weren't gangsters, and they couldn't really put a finger on what we were doing, so They kind of lobbed us in that, and that actually was a lot of our influence.
Sweet. So we're going to turn our attention back to Langston Hughes, who is in the building. They are a hip-hop group that started in the late 80s.
Oh, nah, like mid-90s.
Mid-90s?
93. They got it written on
93s?
their
Okay.
jacket.
Don't age us no more. Don't age us no more.
Well, I thought I heard somebody say something about the 80s earlier.
Now, we 80s babies, though.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't get together until, like, the 90s.
Oh, okay. I hear you. So where can we find you guys? Where can we find y'all? Listen to you live? Where can we listen to you on the internet? Where can we get your music?
Well, our website is www.lh3music.com, and our socials is at LH3music. So you can find us there. Wherever you aggregate your music, we're everywhere. So the album Dream Expedited, which is our debut album, will be available this Friday, October 25th. We're pretty excited about that. This has been
Congratulations.
Thank you. This has been 5 years in the making, and a lot of people was like, you need to put the album out, and we couldn't do it till we were right and till we found the right footing, because our biggest thing was not to be corny and to make sure the music that we were making was authentic to us. So we went through a lot of stuff, and just to make sure our footing was right, and now we're confident and comfortable and ready to bring our music, which we call adult contemporary head nod music, to the world.
I love that. Will there be a release party for the album?
Eventually. So much going on right now. We didn't have the opportunity to plan something close to it. We're doing Skinful this Saturday, and just a lot of things going on. We're in and out of town, so once the smoke kind of clears on the album and people get a good feel of it, we're going to do something kind of cool, because we like to do cool things.
So let's hear your Skinfold pitch. Why should people go to Skinfold? And then if they're already there, why should people come see you?
You want to do it?
Well, I'm going to say this. Our show is very theatrical. It's an event. And we bring all of those elements of hip-hop with the turntables. We have our DJ Corey B. We just have that energy that is going to, folks are going to see why, we have done what we've done in our lifetime in music, So don't want to reveal too much, but we've got some surprises going on, and we feed off of the crowd. And, this is what we love to do. So you're going to see a lot of dope music. You're going to see us really go in and give the crowd what they want to see.
And shout out to our DJ Corey B, just to align with 9 to 5 and what it stands for. He's working, so that's why he's not here. And I really love your platform, because there's a lot of artists across the board that are what we call blue collar artists. And right now, in the hip hop field, the artists that inspire me are artists that still work, or they're under the radar, but these guys are traveling worldwide. So those are the guys I'm following. It's not so much the radio, which I don't think there's really a home for us on radio as much as us getting out there and doing the grind work like worldwide. So there's a lot of groups that go unnoticed that are actually, it's their job. It's like, I got to get up today, like they punch a clock, but now they're going to the Netherlands, or they're going to Miami, or they're going to wherever, but it's still like a 9 to 5. They're not like super rich, but they're living their dream. They're living their life on their terms, and that's what I think is cool. And I like the platform to actually bring that to the awareness of people here locally. I dig that.
Thanks so much. We're super happy to have you.
Indeed.
So I heard Method Man is going to be at Skinfold.
Right.
What do you guys feel about Method Man? How do you guys view him as a contemporary, or how's that work for y'all?
So here's what's really cool. So Skinful is a festival. It's like a Halloween party, but it's a big festival. It's going on all night into the next day, and this is actually our first festival that we've performed. So as Langston Hughes, this is our first major event. And back in the days when we got started, our first major event was in Atlanta, in an event called Jack the Rapper, and we had the opportunity to perform with the Wu-Tang Clan. And I just thought about that the other day. It's like, wow, it's kind of like a 360. So they were brand new. Their album wasn't out yet, but we were very familiar with them because of the singles that they put out. And we even had the opportunity to meet the ODB, and we kind of kicked it with him. We had a freestyle session with him. He even gave me the RZA's business card, and if I knew that Wu-Tang would become who they are, I don't even know where it is. And I was like, man, I'm the artifacts guy of the group. I keep everything, and I don't have that. But for us to see, we were there. We shared a stage where they were only maybe a step ahead of us. Because we didn't have our distribution at that time, but they did, and they weren't known. except for the one single, and to see how far that went. So that's real big to us to be able to share stage with Method Man and Redman.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. ODB he passed away. Right?
Yes.
So R.I.P. to Old Dirty. Yeah, so that's gonna be huge. Method Man, Redman, and then one of our favorites, also Sex Brews, will be playing there. But I had a question about if you guys didn't grow up in Charleston or weren't based in Charleston, do you think you would have been on the same level as well known as a Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
where do you think if you were just in Atlanta, maybe it would have broken out for you, or why didn't Charleston cultivate that type of prolificness for you guys?
That's loaded. And even to this day, we're still overlooked in Charleston, and it's not just hip hop; it's just across all genres, and it's just the ecosystem here, and it's getting better. Because when we were doing music, there were few and far between in hip hop. Very small community, and everyone knew everyone. There wasn't really anyone spearheading it. We were all just trying to find our way. We got lucky. We were able to get a deal, and that deal turned into a distribution deal that put us on the national platform. But a lot of those opportunities weren't available for us yet. So the closest place at that time was Atlanta, and they still were growing. But I spent a lot of time, because you're talking like college days then now for us, and Atlanta was the place to be. So I spent a lot of time going back and forth. We all did, and we saw how that community started to embrace the artists, and a lot of them were horrible, but they still embraced it. But you gotta weed through. Even we had to go through Step and Fetcher to get to Denzel Washington. So you had to weed through, and then the cream rose to the top, and then they created their own ecosystems to where, just like Hollywood or New York, it's like for you to come in there, you have to get permission and to grow, and it expanded to some. We actually watched that whole Atlanta scene. Like Atlanta is a music mecca now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming in Charleston. Even on the hip hop scene, we've seen a whole lot of growth in the amount of shows and the support that's around here. So
What venues in Charleston do you think are really putting forth in the hip hop scene?
Purple Buffalo,
Yeah,
Purple
Buffalo all
hands
day.
down.
Hands down.
Mm-hmm.
There's other spots, but I like what he's doing over there.
That's
And
Dan Dickey.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan is a really cool guy.
Dan is dope.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what else could be done? Like, if you had $3 million, what would you do to blow up the Charleston hip hop scene?
Max.
They're all looking at each other.
I would take the money and run, and then I would speak highly of Charleston. Just more cultivating the culture here, making more opportunities, so we'll have more studios. And the one thing is, everybody can't be an artist. You need the behind the scene guy, so we could create
Business
an
managers.
atmosphere to facilitate all of the mechanics of making music work. It's like everyone is an artist, but then there's no managers. We need managers. We need venues, and
You need education.
Yes, so
Education,
the business side of music.
the business model to help support the art.
and
Absolutely.
that's what we would do.
So, what's our friend who plays at Voodoo Lounge, Caitlin's boyfriend? Slim Soul?
Slim Soul.
Y'all know
Curtis
Slim
My
Soul?
guy,
Gibson.
yes.
Yeah.
He's dope.
So, Slim Soul, he's going around. He's doing a lot of education, after-school program type
He
things
is, yeah.
for beat making.
Which is amazing.
And that's a cool. And we're artists, but we're still fans of the culture, and we always gravitate. We're gonna support everyone, just out of our nature. But then there's certain artists that they got something, and he's one of them. That we really respect.
Yeah, he's definitely a special talent. So, where did you guys record this this release album, this debut album?
Right here in Somerville. Is a guy that was in a previous group with us, who's actually a gospel artist, and he's an engineer and producer, an amazing guy.
Does he have a studio?
By the name of Choice. He does it out of his home, and he only worked with like Choice People, and his name is Choice.
It sounds. It sounds.
We only work with certain people, and we got with him, and I make him, in my mind, he's the executive producer of this project because he kind of molded us. And when he got to the point where he felt very comfortable, where he would go, nah, do that again, or nah, I don't think that'll work. And he's actually doing the chorus on Sophisticated iTunes, the song that we played a little earlier. So Choice definitely was influential in this project, and that's where we do the recording.
It sounds amazing. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I've heard a lot of the stuff that's come out of People Home, and it sounds like it comes straight out of a studio, and this sounds like it again. We're gonna play one more song for a break. So should we play Black Knights or Emirates Internationals?
Probably Emirates, because Black Knight is a very special song, and Maximilian going to have to set that up before you play it, because it's pretty deep. But Emirates is just a party song, so we can party into break.
Let's party.
Let's do it. All right, welcome back, listeners. Now, that was a party song for sure. Apparently, there's video evidence of Taylor dancing to this song.
Yep, I got proof.
Yeah,
when she blew up out of the stratosphere.
Put it on YouTube. Maybe I'll get famous that way.
So
by
that
any
was
means necessary. That's our thing.
That's a throwback Thursday to what issue release was that, Taylor?
Oh my gosh, issue number 3
Number
over
3.
at the Purple Buffalo.
Yeah,
It was such a good time.
we had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
A lot of cool people.
So you guys just decided to take that one lighthearted, or how do you guys? Who sets the tone for the song? How's that get set?
Who did for that one?
I think you did.
Me.
You set the
That was
tone
my.
for that.
I think that was my idea.
Yeah.
It's back to you.
And there's like an
pass that
EDM vibe, and our whole thing. Even when we set out to do this, we were thinking international, and that was matter of fact. I was running one day, and I came up with the idea, because our goal is like you gotta see it before you achieve it, and that song really is telling about our world travels. It hasn't happened yet, but that's where the music is going to take us.
Manifesting your destiny.
Those are the top party spots in the world, from Manchester to Rio, Vegas, which we just came back from Vegas. We shot a video for one of the songs on our album there. But we want to travel the world with our music, and we never were local in a local mindset. We're rappers from Charleston, but we're not Charleston rappers, so we keep it international.
I hear that. I like that. That's manifesting your destiny right there.
Yes, we're big on that.
So I'm gonna have Taylor go ahead and pass the mic over to Maximilian, and we're gonna do a special live in studio set.
Okay.
This song is called What is it called?
What I Do, and this song was actually featured on the A3C Festival compilation. I need to move over, or I'm going this way. What we doing? Huh? I'm gonna go this way. Okay. This the song was featured on the A3C compilation, which was cool to us because I can guarantee we were the oldest people on the compilation, but what was really cool is we kind of meshed and blended in with it. We kind of blended. We came bearing gifts too before we get in that. I wanna, because Langston is about spreading love. So, and I didn't know how many people would be here, but I think we did good. So we have these dog tags. It's like the lion, like you can't see the lion here. Well, his lion is covered, but the Langston lion represents the gateway to your dreams and aspirations, and not just for us, but for everyone. So we had some dog tags made with that. So you keep it close to you. It's like, I got to stick to my dreams, because life gets in the way. Friends and family sometimes get in the way. Sometimes you sleep next to the person that stifles your dreams. So you keep that next to your heart, and it's like the lion will protect you, and that's what that lion represents.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
And our little fans.
I will wear it close. And you also got some other promotional gear. You got the best promotional gear I think I've ever seen anybody come in with.
Yeah,
normally
cool.
people come in with stickers and CDs, but you guys have beach
stickers.
Balls.
We got the beach balls for
fans
Skinful.
And lines. Yeah, this thing looks great. We'll put it on the 9 to 5 Instagram so all the listeners can see it. Anyways, I'm going to play the track now. What I Do is coming at you Live, Jenny, you
1,
got this
2.
queued up?
One,
All
one,
right,
one.
Here it goes. So I'm about to play 3, 2, 1, boom.
Kick in the door and tell them what's up.
Yes.
They mumble when they rap, not saying enough.
Yes.
They searching for the stash, they trying to come up. We shall proceed, no seeds, I'm splitting the Dutch. I'm in this game till I stop
Breathing.
Motivated, determined, I'm never
Sleeping.
That's money in our community.
All season.
I'ma put my mind to what my people, that's what I do.
That's what I do.
That's what I do, my peoples, that's what I say.
That's what I say.
By the reason my people's going astray.
No.
Role models will never follow today. Tomorrow's never promised, I'm living, that's what I do.
Get him, Chalk.
Yeah, I play the field like Satoma. Quarters in my backpack, like I got glaucoma. Gorilla glue and train wreck. Have you in a coma from the Palmetto State? We had them flowers in Magnolia now. Nasarima has FEMA on my paycheck. My hood flooded, but it hasn't even rained yet. Full throttle since rocking up Coke bottles. Rugged, I never coddle my people, that's what I do.
Now here we go.
I'm feeling numb, I was being dumb. I had the chance to tell the truth and not ever be cunning. Should've fessed up and told you instead of just running. Now my credibility is just adding to nothing. Why we hurt the ones we love for an hour of passion. Beat it up, throw the evidence up in the trash can. Give me strength, the devil's a lie. Burying our truth with offers of grandeur. Rebuking money to shine now.
I'm in this game till I stop
Breathing.
Motivated, determination, I'm never sleeping. Invest money in our community
All season.
I'ma put my mind to it, my people, that's what I do.
That's what I do.
That's what I do, my people, that's what I say.
That's what I say.
Ain't not a reason my people's going astray.
No, no, no.
Role model, I never follow the day.
Listen.
Tomorrow's never promised, I'm
Listen.
living, that's what I do.
Tell Sway to tell, yeah, we got the answer. One call, that's all, and that's the pool of them all. Love the root of them all. Money is new to y'all. Freshman class, I'm an unscathed.
Relax and behave.
We late night like Dave, seafood salad. We the best like Khaled, official and most valid. One love with no malice. We hard like Cialis, love them long time. Sugar mama finance the dance in these punchlines.
Lunchtime.
Salmon and cilantro with crushed limes. Next to a plus model, she twice dime. We arrive at the right time. Intervention divine. What I do, much different than you. Butterfinger Sheila, eat the beat with ease. Finger bang it out. Sriracha for all you cucarachas is
Hospice.
for all these
Imposters.
we jump like
Mosh pit.
we fly like
Cockpit.
we dope. Yo, Alexa, who be doing the most?
Langston.
Champagne toast, sophisticated bragging and boast is what I do.
I'm in this game till I stop
Breathing.
Motivated, determination, I'm never
Sleeping.
Invest money in our community
All season.
I'ma put my mind to it, my people, that's what I do.
That's what I do.
That's what I do, my people, that's what I say.
That's what I say.
Am I the reason my people going astray?
No, no,
Role
no.
models are never followed today.
Okay.
Tomorrow's never promised, I'm living, that's
Hey
what I
yo,
do.
hey yo, superhuman being, soul and mind freeing. Third eye open is the vision that we seeing. Rock, go Gibraltar, rock steady, never fleeing. Illuminate the world, I'm a beacon ever gleaming. God powered, God fearing, God help us spit divine on the track. Even the cherubims they felt us.
Okay.
Standing ovation from the heavens up above. Plus I'm fly like a dove as I reference run love. I'll be like
One love.
Carolina, see you soon. Sending selfies from Coachella, chest beating like gorilla. Got queens and princesses in provocative dresses. Headed back to the villa. Sing a song of Solomon, that old bull walking down the hill, crushing all of them. The naysayers and the haters hushing all of them. That fourth quarter winning shot, we gon' touch all of them. Supernova, we gon' blow, can blow all of them. Now what I do is nothing short of amazing. I'm a constellation and you're stargazing. I'm shining like a rhyme when you see the links in line. That means protect your dreams by any means. You know that I am standing here with clenched fists. Do or die redemption is even when I mention this. The hurt and pain's the catalyst. Too long in the tooth by the critics and the analysts. Show I shine like pinky rings laced with the amethyst. That's what I do.
Like that, yo. And you don't stop. Early street in the house and you don't stop. 9 to 5 in the house and you don't stop. And you don't quit. It's a big hit. And we gone.
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 So we got sriracha for all you cucarachas.
Max put me up on the sriracha.
I put that on everything.
On everything.
I love that. That was great. That was a lot of fun in the studio. So that's all we got for time, fellas. I really appreciate it. Is there anything else you guys want to drop before we get off the mic?
Our album comes out 10/25, which is this Friday. Dream Expedited. Pick it up wherever you aggregate your music. And we trying to take this to top 10 iTunes, Spotify on the first week. So we need your support, definitely.
Awesome. And then also this weekend, Skinfold, Saturday, right?
Indeed.
So Saturday, if you can make it, check it out. If not, it's all good. But Skinfolds this weekend's going to be a great time. I know they got great people working for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we go on at 6 too, by the way, just to let people know. A lot of people like to come late. We been on stage at 6, man. We really wanted to say something real quick also, man. We lost 2 important brothers, man, of our family, man, that grew up in this culture with us, man. Daniel Bumpy Johnson Hires and my man Terry Park, you know what I'm saying? Like they was you know, they're going too soon, man. So we just wanted to shout them out and say a rest in peace to them. And they are the reasons also why we're doing what we're doing.
Pathfinders, rock on.
Pathfinders for life.
All right. Thank you, fellas. I'm going to pass the mic to Taylor Zawinski. She's going to give a list of upcoming events, and then we're going to get out of here for our health and wellness or wealth and wellness show that comes up next.
Health and wellness. So starting off.